Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Devina Putri from English Education Department, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. And I'm here today to present my research titled Rhetorical Move Analysis of Abstracts in Master Thesis and Dissertations of Indonesian Local and International Graduate Lecturers. And this is the outline of my presentation. First, we will discuss the introduction of the research, followed by the method, findings and discussion, and lastly, the conclusion. And now let's move on to the first part. In completing a study, either a bachelor, master, or doctorate degree, students are required to write a thesis or dissertation, in which they have to write an abstract in English. The abstract plays a crucial role for academic works since its purpose is to attract readers and help them decide on selecting the readings. However, due to the difference in academic writing style between languages, writing an abstract in English is still considered difficult for non-native English speakers. The lack of structural knowledge and linguistic features of abstract makes it challenging for non-natives to write a well-organized abstract. Hence, a proper structural knowledge about abstract is becoming a concern, and it is suggested that making the knowledge of writing explicit to students through genre analysis may be an effective way to help students cope with academic writing challenges. Genre move analysis is first introduced by John Swales. Genre is primarily described in regards to rhetorical structure, which contains moves and steps. Move analysis is one of the genre-based approaches used to identify the structure of research articles, and is widely used to analyze the rhetorical structure of research abstracts. Identifying rhetorical moves and steps may help researchers to fulfill the communicative function of a text. The gaps found from previous studies are that while research article abstracts are widely looked into, abstracts in theses and dissertations are underexplored. Also, while factors such as disciplines, publication, and first language of the authors are explored, the possible influence of educational background has remained unclear. Therefore, the present study aims to investigate the rhetorical moves and linguistic realizations used in abstracts of master theses and dissertations, and to reveal the similarities and differences between abstracts of final papers written by Indonesian local and international graduates. Moving on to the second part, the research methods. The study employed a qualitative and descriptive comparative approach to achieve the research objectives. The study adopts Highland's 5-move model as the guideline for the rhetorical move analysis. As seen on the table, the model includes 5 moves, namely introduction, purpose, methods, findings, and conclusion. And in some moves, there are some steps describing a more detailed communicative function. And as for the analysis of linguistic realization, the subjects of comparison are tenses, voice, and the type of verb. A total of 6 abstracts written by 3 participants, Indonesian local graduate, Indonesian international graduate, and a mix of both local and international graduate were used as the data source. And now we will start discussing the findings. As you can see, there are T1, D1, T2, and so on. T1 refers to the thesis abstract written by participant number 1, and T1 is for the dissertation abstract by participant 1. And the first to be discussed is the move and step occurrences. From the table, we can see that all 5 moves in Highland's model were used in almost all abstracts except for one abstract in T3. T3, which is the only abstract written in Indonesian, did not include the conclusion move. In line with a previous study by Amnoy in 2019, this may be due to the less competitive nature in writing final papers to convince readers. Also, based on the table, the most manifested move is move 4, which is the findings, except for abstracts written by participant 1. The large number of occurrence of move 4 was supported by previous studies, where the findings or product move was obligatory. T1 had an equal share of occurrence of introduction and findings move. And as for D1, the abstract emphasized on the method move. This was due to the novelty of the method used for the other study. The moves with the lowest occurrence were move 2, purpose, and move 5, conclusion. For the step occurrences, step 2 and step 3 of move 5 had no occurrence in any abstract. In contrast, step 2 of move 1 occurred in all abstracts. A more varied result was found in the step occurrence of each abstract, where the number of steps used and the number of occurrences differs. Moving on to the move pattern, the present study found that regardless of the master and doctoral educational background, the move patterns were written sequentially from move 1, the introduction, to move 5, the conclusion. What is interesting is that the use of embedded moves was discovered. As you can see here, namely the method in purpose move and method in findings move. Here are the examples of the embedded move manifestation found in the study. As you can see here, the method move is embedded in the purpose move, and so on. As you can see, the method move were often embedded to another move. This trend indicates that authors did not center their attention on writing the methods, or the methods used in the study were already well known, so that further explanation is not needed. For the linguistic features, the most used tense in the abstract was present tense. All of the abstracts written in English used active voice more than passive voice. An abstract with a full use of active voice was also found. However, the abstract written in Indonesian mainly used passive voice. This indicates that regardless of the educational background that is related to English, the habit and style when writing using a certain language remains. Passive voice is known to be used more frequently when using Indonesian language. As for the verbs, action verb was the most used type in almost all abstracts. The findings reveal some similarities and variations between the abstract. The 5 moves in Highland's model occurred in all abstracts written in English. The findings was the most manifested move in all abstracts. However, a more varied result was found in the step level since each participant focused on different steps in each abstract. The patterns of move in the abstract were all sequential from move 1 introduction to move 5 conclusion, regardless of the master and doctoral educational background. In regarding the linguistic realization, no significant difference was found in all abstract. Despite the small scale of data used in the present study, the results of the present study could enrich the existing literature in the field of academic writing, especially in thesis and dissertation writing. But to give a clearer picture of manifestations of rhetorical and